What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and I have the pleasure of speaking with a legend in the underground music scene, Mr. Chris Spencer. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Bill. Nothing. How's it going?
Not much, man. Doing all right. Was pretty excited looking into you about doing this interview. So much we could talk about, but I wanted to first, just usually when I have somebody on for the first time, I want to ask, like, what did you originally want to be when you grew up?
Oh, shit. I don't know. When I was a little kid, I guess I wanted to be like a zoologist.
And then when was it, about what age was it, do you remember, that you first discovered music?
My mother was in a bluegrass band when I was a little kid. So when I was about 7, I kind of just started just making little, just doing stupid shit on guitar.
Nice. So, like, what was it that attracted you to guitar then?
I don't know. I just really like music, and my mother's in a bluegrass band, so there were all these kind of weirdo hippies who would teach me shit. So it was just easy.
And then how about vocals?
Oh, well, once I got to be about 14 or 15, around there, me and my friends, since I was like 10 or 11, we would jam in the basements of my friends' houses and buildings and whatever. And I realized that if we had a vocalist, so, we could do a show. We could actually play somewhere besides in the basement. So we kind of looked around, but at that age, nobody is a vocalist, and it was really hard. And there's nobody, so I just figured, amongst us, I was the one guy who would give it a shot. Like other guys tried, but just weren't into it. And I wasn't really that into it, but somebody had to do it. So I just gave it a shot.
Nice. And then, so then once you started doing that, were you guys able to start playing out then?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we played at our school and stupid crap like that,
Nice. And what was the name of that band?
I believe it was very first one was Amplified Rice.
Nice. I always love getting like the names of the high school bands,
Yeah.
A nice list of
pretty shitty name. Yeah.
And then, like, what attracted you to the or actually, like, as you went on to play, like, when did you start wanting to get together with people to start playing more professionally and take it more serious?
Oh, I mean, I never really got there. Honestly, just me and my friends just played all the time in school and stuff. And I started learning about cars and stuff like that. And I just bought like a cheap van that was a pain in the ass. And we all kind of, like, I was actually later in NYU Film School. And I was being offered work at a rental house for 70 millimeter Panavision cameras. But I had this crappy van, and we were starting to get offered shows all over the place. And a friend of mine, Todd Cote, had started booking stuff like around on the East Coast, Northeast. So at one point we were the first band he really started booking nationally. So we just kind of lived in a van and traveled around and made like $50 a show. And we were all just super good friends. Like in between shows, sometimes we would actually just take the van out to a national park and camp out, just kind of, make a fire and stay in the van and then move on to the next show. So we were just kind of gypsies living in a van, traveling around, just playing as much as possible. Instead of going into a job in a rental house in New York, it was kind of like, all right, let's just fucking live in the van and travel all over the place.
Nice. And then what was this project then during this time period?
Oh, that was UNSANE.
Okay. All right. Wasn't sure if UNSANE started yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And like, How did that come to be? How did that band come together for you?
Just me, Pete, and Charlie. We were all friends in school. And yeah, we just started playing. We scored a practice space on Avenue B with the guys from Pussy Galore, and then Cop Shoot Cop came in. So we just kind of fell into it. We had a practice space with Pussy Galore, and that kind of opened some doors in terms of like playing at the Pyramid Club. And then like I was making cassette tapes that I would drop off at like CBGB's and Lismar Lounge, Pyramid Club, and just a bunch of like shit on the east side, Lower East Side in Manhattan. Yeah, just fucking just started doing it. We kind of would ask John Spencer if he had any tips. He told us we'd be touring in 2 years, is what he said. When we first started out, we didn't believe him, but so yeah, just kind of it was sort of totally a DIY sort of maximum rock and roll. I don't know if you know that old rag.
Oh, yeah.
But one of those, just really early shit where you just kind of make cassettes and send them out to people. But then we also had our friend Todd, who was helping and tried to get us shows, because the idea of calling clubs and sending them demos all over the country is a little daunting, so we had help.
Nice. And what was it that like attracted you to the New York like punk and hardcore scene?
We lived there. I don't know. It's just our neighborhood. That was just kind of our neighborhood. That's where shows were happening. And at the time, you could drink beer out of a paper bag. And, me and there was kind of a whole scene. People would just kind of hang out on the street outside of clubs and just drink beer and shoot the shit, and then you just start meeting more people and things develop, So
was there anybody in particular that you were like following at that time and you were like, man, I'm going to be up there doing that too?
No, not really. I couldn't imagine that anyone would like the music we made. So, it was kind of like, hey, can we get on a show with Mudhoney or, touring bands was kind of what we were hoping for. But we just kind of gave it a shot. I never thought this band would be like a big band or anything.
And then let's talk a little bit about that journey. Then, you started getting out and touring and stuff and making connections and stuff. And then when did it start becoming like, like, whoa, this is like something that we can do for a long time?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. After a shit ton of touring, just kind of like I was saying, living in the van, just kind of driving all over the place. Then the booking started getting better. We started getting opening slots for bands, touring all over the place. And then eventually, after a few years, after a couple of years, really, you stop hanging out in your neighborhood so much and you end up on tour for like 10 months. It was kind of really, once Matador started doing well, then our band got more exposure and we just ended up touring constantly there was like a 4-year period of time where we played over 310 shows a year.
Wow.
So, imagine we're just constantly touring and it's kind of a grind. It is really a grind. But that's when you just kind of realize like, holy shit, we are actually kind of doing it. It's not really like, this is what I want to be doing. It just kind of fell in our lap, so.
And then when did the van get upgraded?
Oh, we burned through like 4 different vans, 5. Over time, I think 7 total. But during that period of time, yeah, we burned through a shit ton of vans. A van will last maybe 2 years and have like almost 400,000 miles on it. You got to move on.
So like, let's talk about like the journey that, where it's led now. Like when did Human Impact become a project that you
a few years ago, like maybe, with the pandemic, it had already been going for almost 2 years, but it was like Me and Jim were old friends. Me and Jim were friends from way back, man. Like when we were in that practice space with Pussy Galore, way back. And I'd always wanted to play with Jim. I always really liked Cop Shoot Cop, the band he was in. So like when Cop Shoot Cop broke up, I think it was like 97. I had actually asked the guys in Unsane if we could have Jim join Unsane and do samples and noise shit. But by then it was Vinny and Dave, and they wanted to remain a 3-piece. So I got turned down. So I'd been waiting forever to play in a band with Jim. And I think it was like 2018. Jim just came to a show, an Unsane show in Brooklyn, and asked me if I would want to just do some shit with him. And I, of course, said yes. So we started writing some shit. And then he had been in touch with Chris and Phil from Swans. And at the time, Michael Girard had said he was not going to do Swans with that band anymore, and he was moving on. So they were out of work. So they just kind of joined at that point, you know. So it's been really organic. Just everything's kind of fallen into place. So, you know, it's been a few years. That's kind of, you know, it's how it happened.
Now you could correct me, but I think I read now that this has pretty much become your sole project.
No, actually, I've been playing the super early Unsane shit with 2 friends of mine down in Austin that I've met. I started hanging out with down in Austin. We started playing all the Pete and Charlie stuff, like the very first record and singles record and shit like that. Really, we were just doing it for fun during the pandemic because there was a practice space in the house that I was staying in my friend's house in Austin, Eric Cooper. And there was a practice space there and nobody had anything to do. So we just started playing all that old shit just for fun and did that for a couple months. I mean, we practiced all the time. And then we were playing other shit too, but that was pretty much it. We wanted to kind of get a set dialed in and have it because the drummer is John from the band Daughters. I don't know if you ever heard of them. But we kind of wanted to do like sort of like we were on tour, you know, like just play every day, 6 days a week, and just, you know, just for like mental health reasons. So now we did a couple shows in Texas, and it's looking like now we'll be taking that show on the road. So I'll be doing both the early Unsane cuts and Human Impact.
Okay, and then that'll still be under the name Unsane then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really call it something else, you know.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was reading something that you were done with Unsane and coming into Human Impact full time, and I was going to ask like how you could, you know, what it was like to leave something that you were so invested in the majority of your career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the guy who kind of started Unsane when I was pretty young. You know, so it's a little, you know, like I was saying, playing the early shit was fun. So we just started doing it, and, you know, it kind of developed from there. I mean, no, I called Dave and Vinny, and this is all material that they didn't play on, you know, that they weren't in the band at the time. And they were cool with it. They were cool with us just doing this early shit. I have a label, or me and Todd have a label called Lamb Unlimited that is reissuing all the super early Unsane shit. So it makes sense. You know what I mean? Let's just go out on tour and play the super early stuff. And it's really cool, man. It's actually, if I didn't think it was good, I wouldn't be doing it. You know, it kind of rips actually. So, you know, it's fun.
Well, that's good. That's good for your longtime fans to hear too. And then like, let's talk more about like Human Impact. Like, what is the like main message and theme, and what, like, you know, went into like the creative process for this project?
I mean, I don't think there's really like a message, you know. I mean, I've been getting that a lot. I guess because of the name, you know. But I've just been writing lyrically. It's really just been about shit that's going on now, like in the States and globally and all kinds of crap. So I don't think there's like really so much of a message. Maybe every different song would have, maybe a different sort of message. But you got to stay away from that because I don't want to get pigeonholed into, we are the revolution of the planet, kind of attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Stupid. You want to write songs about whatever you want to write about, like if you don't want to be stuck like, oh no, what's my new, topic of globalization, you know what I mean? Like so I wouldn't say there's like really a message. It's just reflective of what's going on right now to me, yeah, I mean, we're just musicians. We're just playing, so I would not try and stay away from getting political as much as I think shit is fucked up. Do what you can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it almost sounds like it could be like a, a venting or a therapeutic process just to, we can't bottle everything up. We got to speak it out, and get it out.
Totally. I mean, Unsane was the same way. Both bands are, for me, the same kind of thing. I mean, that's kind of what music is for me, is to get shit out of my system, I mean, I just feel really lucky that there are a lot of people out there who kind of share the same sort of, disgruntled angst. It's like I was saying before. I mean, I never thought anybody liked this shit, but actually there are a lot of other people out there like me. So,
Oh yeah. But I mean, what's good about it is like, it seems like, we live in a time where it's like, there can't be any kind of outside the box discussions, or we can't talk about really anything about worried about being canceled and whatnot. But this is a way to throw topics out there, whatever's bothering you, whatever you're going through, somebody else can feel that and they can get it out too, I guess.
It's somewhat one way and put to music.
Yeah.
Like now, with the internet and all kinds of shit, everybody has their thing they got to say, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, I mean, that's cool, but music is more personal. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's what you just put out there, and hopefully somebody can relate.
Yeah, it's so much easier to put out your thing, I guess, behind a keyboard without like filtering it, and thinking about it. Once you hit send, it's gone.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's so
I
it's
mean,
good.
Once a record is out, it's out.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, the record itself, I just like throughout my whole career, whatever. It's just kind of write lyrics and music about shit that you're feeling at that time. Every record is sort of a reflection of a certain period of time, for better or for worse. Deal with it later. Some shit I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? But at the same time, what can you do? That was a period of time in your life. So
Exactly. And then, like, what was who came up with the name Human Impact, and why was that chosen?
I did. We tried a shit ton of names and nothing was working, but I put that out there. The guys liked it. I think it's good in terms of the times we're in right now, and it kind of has this dual meaning to me, like there's not just the impact of humanity on everything, but also sort of the, what I think of as a guy jumping off the roof of a building and hitting the sidewalk, So,
Yeah.
So there is something of a dual meaning to me, so whatever.
Gotcha. But it's like, it's almost like, from what I gathered from some of the music, it's like you're holding a mirror up to our faces, and like there's some things we don't like to look at within ourselves that we have to admit are like maybe character defects and stuff we have to work on as human beings.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't have to improve on yourself, but maybe just realize that, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but, lyrically, there are definitely some things that are like, this is kind of fucked up, but I think
Yeah.
a
Well,
lot of the shit that, I may be wrong again, but I kind of feel like a lot of people see what I'm talking about, like Contact, the song Contact was written before the pandemic. And it's all about a virus that travels internationally on planes and fucking, what would that be like? It's sort of a hypothetical thing. And here we are, we've been dealing with it for like 2 years now. So,
damn, you've been hanging out with the Simpsons?
yeah, right. Yeah, me and Bart.
And then what's it been like now? I mean, you guys are working with Ipecac Records and stuff. How'd that come to be? And
Well, Ipecac had put out an early, Visqueen Unsane record. So I knew the guys, Greg Workman and Mike and stuff. Mike had asked me at one point at a festival in like Belgium. He had said, "Oh, hey, can we put out an Unsane record?" And that's how I kind of met them. But so I knew them from before, and I kind of thought that that would be a good label for this project, because they have a lot of different shit on the label, and it's not just pure metal or like Southern Lord, or I mean Southern Lord has some other shit too, but yeah, it just seemed like a right fit, and it's really honestly worked out well. Like now we don't have to do it record by record, like we just kind of write whatever, do whatever, and can make videos and put shit out as it comes. And then once we accrue enough shit, then we put out a record. You know what I mean? Like EP01 is shit from before the first record and after the first record. It's kind of just shit that that we just kept writing. I mean, for example, with the tour coming up, a couple weeks, we're going in Minneapolis, right in the middle of the tour. We're going to take a day and record in Minneapolis and do hopefully like 4 songs. And so then Ipecac can just kind of do those as singles, and it's kind of cool. Shit has just really changed. You don't just like with Unsane, a lot of times I would, actually just really write a record specifically. This is the record, and we're really doing it just to have this, 45 minute, piece of vinyl or whatever. Now shit just kind of keeps going, just pieces at a time, and then you can put them together and also thematically sort of work on it as a whole for the record, so. But Ipecac's cool with us. Just keep running our mouths for as long as we want.
nice.
Yeah, it's not like where you sign a deal for 2 records only. They're like, no, you guys are cool. Do your thing.
That's awesome. So no micromanaging and stuff. Let the artists do their thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, real good. And then like with this, I mean, have you gotten to play any of this stuff live yet, or is this going to be the first time with this tour?
This is our first actual tour, but we did a show. It was like March 14th, 2020, the last day clubs could even be open in New York, for when COVID slipped in, which we only played because they were live streaming it. You know what I mean? Like that show would have pretty much been canceled. And actually people came, which is kind of interesting, even though that was kind of the super high point for the fear of disease. Yeah, people actually showed up. And so that was our last show. We had played one other show before that. So we've done like 2 shows. That's it. We had multiple tours cancel during COVID. So, we're trying to do some makeup work here.
Yeah. And then is there like a particular track from that you guys have done that you really was like your favorite to play live, or you're looking forward to fans hearing live?
I mean, I look at the set as one big goddamn song. So I'm looking forward to doing the set. I'm psyched. I mean, Contact is really punishingly fun to play, because it really is reflective of what's been going on, in my life anyway. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. So during this tour, you guys will be coming to the Cleveland area, playing the Grog Shop, I believe, December 11th and stuff. Now you guys, you've played the Grog before with UNSANE, correct?
Oh yeah, tons of times.
Yeah, I thought so.
The old one, before they moved and everything, like way back,
Okay, yeah. You probably played Euclid Tavern too then back in the day.
Oh yeah, yes we did.
All right. Right. And then so like going forward, what kind of goals do you got set for yourself and the band?
Oh shit. Well, just tour as much as possible, tour a bunch, put out more shit, really. I mean, that's all I could really aspire to is tour other places. That's one aspiration, the places I haven't been before. Like I'd like to go to South America. Just try to open new doors, places you can go and play. So, I mean, honestly, after this whole fucking pandemic thing, I just want to play every goddamn day. So,
Yeah, get back in that van, huh?
Yeah, totally. Just play as much as possible,
Nice. Well, cool, Chris. I want to ask you some of the questions I normally ask my guests on here. Who are some of your top 3 musical artists?
Oh shit. I mean, in the classic sense?
I mean, whoever.
Right,
are your 3 go-tos?
I would say Jimi Hendrix, Flipper, Joy Division.
Nice. And then is there a particular song that you feel has inspired you in life that's like a go-to whenever you're going through a rough time or whatever, you put it on and it, never gets old?
I mean, there's a song on, it's Brian Eno and Harmonia. Okay. It's called like Tracks and Traces, I think 76. It's electronic stuff, really super early 70s, 76, electronic stuff. But they have an opening track on there called Welcome, which if you ever feel uncomfortable or stressed out or anything, you can put this on and suddenly you're relaxed. So there you go.
Nice. I'm going to have to look that one up, man. So it makes you feel welcome, huh?
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, it was all written in Berlin in the 70s, and it's a pretty oppressive, dark winter place. Like I lived there for not that long, a year and a half or something. But it's the kind of thing that like soothes depression. It's like it's sort of like it'll lift you up out of this dark hole you may be in. So I think that's when they wrote it. I think that was the context that they were writing it from. So,
Nice. Well, yeah, as you said, we're about to enter into a dark winter, so people need a playlist to help pick them up sometimes during those periods.
Yeah, you want to check that out. Yeah, it's very soothing. It's not like, there's always I Got a Right by Iggy. That one's always, always hitting home. But that's the way of the world, things like that. Flipper, there are a few, but they're all different kind of shit. So
nice. And what's the last book you read?
Oh, I think it was. I can't remember the name. It was Herman Hesse. Shit, I don't remember the name. I think there was I was reading Steppenwolf. I was kind of reading like 3 books at once a few weeks ago. But last maybe Steppenwolf by Hesse.
Yeah, I find myself doing that quite a bit too. I'm picking up one book and I'm getting through it, and then it's like all of a sudden another one catches my eye before I finish the other one. So
yeah, and I got them laying around the house, and like I'll read one when I'm laying in bed, and then I'll read one when I'm kind of hanging on the porch, or it's like whatever.
And then what class do you feel should be mandatory before graduating high school today?
Mathematics.
And not using your phone and all that stuff that they're allowed to use.
Well, no, that's, math. Just any kind of, any of them various math, stuff.
Nice. And then talked about, all the touring you guys did. Is there a particular band that you had the most fun with that you're out on the road with?
Oh, shit. I mean, I had a really good time. A long time ago, we toured with Neurosis, and we all shared a bus. And that was like, we were all just kind of brothers. And we were doing this for like 2.5 months all over Europe. And we got to be super close friends, and every night was fucking awesome. So Neurosis was one of the most fun. Was nice. The most fun, possibly. Yeah.
And then who are 3 people who've inspired you or you can credit for making you the person you are today?
Oh my God. I mean, nobody would know them. My grandmothers and my mother. Like nobody knows these people. What?
Yeah. No, that's fine. I always like getting people's responses though. And it helps them, look back and remember people that gotten through. Like mine would be the same, like my dad, my mom, stuff like that.
Yeah. Family, so.
For sure. But a lot of times I get like some people say about, a particular teacher that they had in life or,
Yeah, I can see that.
And then any causes or organizations that you support and would encourage others to check out?
Oh, shit. I mean, no. No, not really. I'm not involved with any cause or any kind of, no. I'm kind of busy. I don't know. No.
Yeah, doing your own thing. And then favorite toy as a child?
Favorite? Oh, the Evel Knievel thing, the one with the jump that you wind up and it fucking shoots in the air and fucking Evel bites it again. Yeah, that was really good.
That is awesome. That is the most I've gotten that answer the most out of all the interviews I've done. Yeah, everybody goes back and loves their Evel Knievel.
Breaking bones, flying off the motorcycle and everything. It was really good.
And then you got any message that you have for our military members currently serving overseas?
Oh my God. Stay safe, man. Be careful. Keep it up. Stay alive.
Thanks. Well, Chris, man, thanks for your time. I really appreciate you coming on. You guys will be coming through Cleveland area December 11th, playing the Grog, and I'm glad you're able to get back out on the road and help, spread some angst or light through the dark,
Cool, man. Thank you. Thanks, Phil.
And then real quick before I let you go, you mind doing a favor for me?
What's that?
Cut a promo ID for the show. Just introduce yourself and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hi, this is Chris Spencer and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Awesome, Chris. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate your time.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
See ya.